Hi Pisces, welcome to your March 2020 love reading. It's Rena here. I know this is a bit late, but I had the flu, so now that I've recovered, I'm back in business. I just want to give like a full disclosure. I actually laid down a spread and did a couple of attempts earlier in the day, and it wasn't happening for one reason or the other, so I'm going to just do it over again. I just felt like maybe the timing wasn't right. It had nothing to do with the cards themselves. It was just trying to get back into the flow and not really, actually, to tell you the truth, I wasn't even really sure which sign they were for, so I just scooped up the cards, and now I realized that they were for you. But this is going to be better because it's more in the moment, so. But it's so interesting because I see here that I have like a few reversed cards, and that's not something that happens to me much anymore. But the way that I had different piles, so that's how some of them are upside down, I guess. But the thing that's interesting is I have like 2 pairs of 3s and 2 pairs of 6s. Actually, I have 3, yeah, 2, okay. So, hold on one second. I'm going to be just collecting these to get them out of the way. All over the place here. Okay. So, we have the heart of the matter is the 3 of Swords. This is a card of feeling a sense of rejection. Now, this reading can be for people who are single, so in that case, it's simply that coming from a place, even being single, and seeing being single as some kind of a proof that you are not desirable or something like that. And I want to say something because it's really interesting. That has been what I've been trying to verbalize in some of these readings, and even just in other contexts, is how important it is to eradicate that concept that people do tend to have, where they just want to go from one relationship to the next because they do think that if they are single, it means that it's proof that they're not desirable. And the more that you can embrace being a solitary individual who maybe does happen to want a companion, but is content with yourself at this moment, the better off you're going to be. And yes, of course, it's easier said than done if you tend to be, if you tend to feel more comfortable in a relationship. But think about when people have that idea and they get into a relationship too quickly or with the wrong person, and then all of a sudden they have a lot of problems, a lot more than being single ever was. So that's one possibility. If you're in this can even be for somebody who is involved with somebody, but there's a third party, and because of that, they don't have that person to themselves. It can be being married or otherwise coupled, and your partner is involved with somebody else, and it makes you feel unwanted. In the past position, the Queen of Cups, but in the reversed way, let's look at how she is supposed to look. And this is a card that's associated with Cancer, so anyone of that sign in their makeup can be playing into this. But we also had, I mean, if this is timing, we had a lunar eclipse in Cancer in January. And, you know, for Pisces, that's the 5th house, the house of love. It's a lunar eclipse, so it can, you know, make like an amazing download of realizing a situation regarding your love life that you just, that was hidden to you, like making it, you know, impossible to avoid, or it can even involve ending something. And whether you're the one ending it or the other party. But the thing to understand about eclipses is that they're here to help us by either initiating things or letting go of things that we have a hard time doing so on our own. So, you know, whether somebody wants to look at something as being, oh, this is a terrible thing that happened, you know, it's a free country, you can do that if you want, but it might be for the best overall. And just to let you know, I mean, in the summer, or I should just say in June, the summer solstice, or just say the solstice, next solstice, June 21st, there's going to be a solar eclipse in this house. So that's lots of new beginnings. So that's cool. That's something to look forward to. But actually, the Queen of Cups in reverse can be not listening to your intuition and then having to deal with a messy reality. You know, people often joke and say, how come psychics never win the lottery, you know? And I do believe that some of the most psychic people, and Pisces certainly is up there, may have a blind spot when it comes to themselves. And I think that's just human nature, of being able to see everything very clearly when you're not emotionally connected to it. But when you are, then all bets are off. The higher message is the Ace of Cups. Now, these cards are also gilded, which makes them so elegant, and they're perfect for love readings because of that. And this is new love, but love, Ace of Cups. So, as the spiritual message, you know, holding out for love, letting go of something that maybe never was love. If you are involved with somebody on any level that isn't working out. Now, another 3 here. So again, you know how they say 3 is a crowd? Well, we're talking about the 3 of Cups in the challenge position. This can be, see how they're holding those cups, it can be somebody who just has that tendency. Maybe they are not capable of settling down because they're too interested in variety. That they, and variety meaning novelty. That they, variety means a lot of new experiences, or novelty would mean new experiences. Variety means different types of people. But there's also that element of being very flighty. Maybe somebody who is a little bit too lacking in commitment. And perhaps with the 3 of Cups, it can even be somebody who has a drinking problem, who likes to just hang out and socialize at the bar, and that's where they get their social, and you know, their social interactions are there, and they kind of shy away from ever staying at home. And, you know, people, the thing is, we can argue about whether or not that's okay. I think most people know that there is such a thing as being excessive when it comes to certain behaviors. It's not evil to do that maybe once in a week or once in a while, but somebody who's doing this almost every night, they're probably running away from intimacy. They're probably really don't have the wherewithal to be able to, deal with another person one-on-one, which is what I was talking about with intimacy. And so that type of person isn't necessarily good for you anyway. So that's kind of showing that maybe you're not compatible, And so what's coming in is represented by the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And I think this is about you being able to see how, let me just show it upright. Lack of give and take, how that has maybe played a part in your, kind of like the, what would you call it? The pattern of relationships that you've experienced in the past, and that you have the opportunity to change all of that. And what I like about that solar eclipse in June is that it's at 0 degrees. So to me, it's like pushing that reset button and being able to recreate, or not recreate, but reinvent your version of what love is, instead of maybe what you grew up with. And that can be distorted, of course, and things like that, and or what other people, what the movies tell you, the books. And then the outcome, the Six of Wands. This is a card of victory, taking a bow. And how I see this is honoring yourself. But honoring yourself by believing the good that is coming your way. And this can be in the form of somebody of the fire element. So Leo, I think, is actually connected to this card, but so is, wands are also Aries and Sag. And the thing is that's the other piece in this. The Three of Swords says nobody loves me. The Six of Wands says, I love myself. Now, the Six of Wands can be other people giving you kudos, giving you, it's like you receiving honors, like high honors. And in career matters, this would be like receiving some kind of recognition. But in love, to me, this is about being capable of a healthy relationship where you receive this kind of feedback from another person. And it seems almost hard to believe, but this is, I think, one of the biggest, how would I call it, challenges for somebody who is in the position of trying to begin a relationship and interact with somebody who is healthy. And because a healthy person is going to praise you, they're going to say good things about you. And a person who isn't used to hearing that can be very uncomfortable. And it's hard to really articulate this, but if you experience it, you'll know what I mean. And it's something, it's almost like you have to be conscious that this may happen so that you can know what to do. And basically, how it's about learning to take accept a compliment. That's like one of the basic ones. And it may be hard for somebody like you to do so. I mean, I think it's hard for people in general. It's not necessarily that easy for people to accept compliments. And in a broader sense, too, this can be about accepting love from somebody. And that means that if somebody treats you well, rather than start to go, whoa, this is strange. I don't know what this means. Something is clearly wrong here. And then, think that that person is either lying, that they're trying to play with your mind. And obviously there are cases where people are very fake, and they're just doing that to get some kind of, to manipulate people. So I'm not saying that everybody who compliments you is sincere, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about somebody who is sincere, who shows integrity in other areas of their life, and who you do trust, but being able to not just push it away by saying something that counters it, that kind of goes against it. And an example that they always give in general is when somebody compliments a woman and she says, oh, I love your dress. And she goes, oh, this old thing. And kind of negating it. And what does that mean? Why does a person do that? Well, they don't believe that that person's being genuine, and they don't want to seem like a fool. That's one of the biggest reasons. Or they just can't accept it. And this is something that has to be really done away with. And just by me bringing this up, if it comes up for you, perhaps you'll remember it, and then you'll be able to to think, well, Raina said, just accept it. You don't, all you have to say is thank you. Nothing else. And and then you're good to go. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.